today's gardening and prepping. My name is Teresa. I would like to welcome you to my wild backyard. I've been busy trying to catch up from being back home from the hospital. I've got a lot of weed eating done. I've still got way more to do, but today we're going to have fun. Now, I know a lot of people already know how to make more tomato plants this way, but not everyone does. Now, for now, I only have two massive tomato plants. They have grown like crazy. Now, these are the same tomato plants. If you watched my making how I fill my grow bag and my pot for growing plants in them, these are the same little bitty tomato plants. They have grown like crazy. In 2 weeks' time, they are now over the tomato cages. So let's get busy and I'll show you how to make free tomato plants. That way you can keep growing and cloning your tomatoes. Not cloning in a bad way. You can see how big and tall, healthy, and robust these tomato plants are. They don't look like the same plants from the video, but they are. Okay, now what you're going to want to do is one, I need to fix these and get them trained. Now what I'm looking for is what is called sucker plants or sucker stems. Now some of them are a little too far gone for me to clip, but some are not. And this way I'll be able to start me some more tomato plants. And some are too small. Now, I'm using scissors. You can use clippers. And you're going to need a jar of water. This is good rainwater with it had some grass clippings in it, so it's got a little extra vitamins in it. So now, here's a good one. A sucker plant. Here, let me move y'all in here. A sucker stem, sucker plant, whichever one you want to call it. It's going to be one that grows. Here's an example right here. One that grows up out of the crease of a tomato plant. You're just going to go in, snip it out. I'm going to have to put this in a pint jar because this quart jar is too big for it. But for now, it's going in the quart jar. Now here's another one. You just snip it. I usually cut off the bigger branches, and you want to leave some green. And if it's trying to bloom like this one is, you want to pinch those blooms off. Now, when you stick it in water, these are hairy little tomatoes. I don't think you can see it, but when you stick it in water, roots will grow up the stems. That's a good one. I've got a lot of them. Some of them are just little bitty babies starting. I'm going to pinch the little ones off. There's a few I'm going to let get just a little bit bigger. But some of them I want to go on and clean out. Here's a good healthy one. And of course, like I said, these smaller ones like this, I'm going to put them in a pint jar. You want to be really gentle with them. You don't want to mash the stem at all, but you want to get them in water as soon as you can. See, here's another sucker right here. but it is way too big for me to cut back. If I wanted to, I could, but I don't want to do that. And I've got to try to gently get that baby back up into the cage, the tomato cage. Now, I can't tell at the moment, some of it is grass clippings, but it looks like I might have one of those dreaded tomato hornworms running around. And see, that's, and it's a good time to also trim up your plant, get rid of those bottom ones. Oh, here's a good healthy one. It's a little big, but it'll still root. Trim off all those little smaller branches or leaves. I want, I do not want the blooms on these just yet. Make sure there's no blooms on them. Be gentle, like I said. And these, it's going to make roots, and I'll have a complete another tomato plant. Now, what I was talking about cloning in the good way. When you take these cuttings like this, the plant is going to stay exactly the same tomato plant that you have. It's not going to change it up any. I'm just cleaning up the plant. I've got a couple of suckers over here I'm going to leave on it. I will make them into more tomatoes. This one I'm going to let get a little bigger. But it's best to try to keep as many suckers off your plant. That sucker here, this is what I'm trying to show y'all. Let's see, where'd it go? Okay, right here. And you still can't see the jungle, but let's see. This one is in the way. Oh, I got my first little fat tomato on there. Little baby one. I am so happy. See, like I said, this is a sucker here. It's too big. This is another sucker right here. You can see where it grows in the V. That one's too big and it's already blooming, so I'm going to let it do its thing. Now, here's one right here. Sorry, y'all. Cameras angle might not be the best, but I'm going to try. Let's see if y'all can see this. Yeah. Can't see it for the jungle. Right here. There we go. Let's see what leaves are in the way. Here is a good one right here. And you can see kind of how it's in the V, and you're just going to gently snip it out. This is going to be a good healthy one. And you just want to trim those bottom leaves off. See, I trimmed those and those. I want to take this great big tomato bloom off. And into the water it goes. And I got a lot of really good blooms on. I got my first little fat tomato growing. Okay, here's one I should be able to get so y'all can see exactly what I'm doing. Let's hope. Okay, right here. See how the main stem is going up, and this is just a leaf branch coming off. You see the V right there? This is your sucker. Snip it as close as you can without cutting the plant. And then see, these are the little tomato blooms right here. Snip those off because you don't want this little plant trying to make any tomatoes. You want it to be focusing on making roots. But yeah, I hate these. Got so big. I'm thankful they got big, but sucker wise, yeah, got a lot of suckers on here. And I think I'm gonna take that one. There we go. Unfortunately, I'm gonna lose that set of tomatoes. I'm gonna trim off those leaves. I'm gonna cut that down just a little bit. Get these blooms off and get them in the water. But yep, simple, easy. Anybody can do this as long as you've got tomato plants. And it's an easy way to get several crops in during a year because it's faster to root the suckers most of the time than it is to plant the seeds. But I'm not trying to discourage you from not planting seeds. But in the season, as it's going along, it's easier to do the suckers. Here's one. Here's another one I'll do. I got to gently move this one without breaking. Ah, crap. I broke it. I did not want to do that. Not whatsoever. Okay. I'm going to have to clean it up. Man, that irks me. I did not want that to happen. Life goes on, and you put it in the water to make another plant. No, here we go. Here's where I was trying to go for. Okay, this one wants to argue. Okay, see here we have the main stem, we have the leaf branch, and we have the sucker right here. Trim it as close as you can. Of course, always look it over for the dreaded tomato hornworm, and you just want to pinch the blooms off because those tomatoes will be stunted while this plant is trying to make roots. And of course, this is a giant sucker here. But now this is a perfect time to work with your plants, get them cleaned up, get those bottom little stems cut back. You want to remember tomatoes need airflow within them. Yeah, that's a giant sucker there. I'm not even going to fool with that one. But these tomatoes are not too bad about being growing suckers. So, but I've got some more suckers that I will come harvest in a few days time so they can get bigger. Like I've got that one to do. This one is too big. That is way too big. Oh, I could cut it and make a plant with it, but I just don't want to take a chance of losing it. Alright, got a jar of potential tomato plants. Now, is this way 100%? No, not always. They won't, some of them might not make roots, but I have a lot of luck doing it this way. And like I said, rainwater. Use rainwater if you can. And just make sure that you keep an eye on your water. Don't let it get slimy or anything. And these should start rooting in several days at least. And I will bring you back when it's time to plant these babies in some more grow bags. Because I'm going to have some tomatoes this year. Because like me and Farrell are starting to believe that Junior doesn't want me to garden. But simple, easy, anybody can do this. All you need is a jar. You don't have to use a quart jar like I'm doing. Just a, regular glass jar. Rainwater. Rainwater's best, always. Some scissors and a one or two tomato plants, and then you can make a whole lot of tomato plants. Everyone, stay safe and sound in this crazy world because things are getting crazier. Continue to stock up your pantries with food that will sustain and nourish you, medicinals that will actually heal you, protection of all kinds, and the bare essentials. Y'all take care. I look forward to seeing you in my next video, and may you each be blessed. Hoot, hoot. Y'all take care.